Hello everyone, it is Joe here from Omnipoke, the channel that brings you guys everything Pokemon, and today we're looking at Zoroark Eeveelutions. It's actually quite an interesting archetype. I don't think it's really top tier right now because it does simply take the loss to a couple of decks. I'll get into that into a moment, but it also does present a lot of threats against a wide variety of decks just because of the type coverage that we have thanks to the Eeveelutions, and Zoroark is just an efficient attacker that can get big numbers, so it's a pretty cool option. I think straight off the bat, I'm just going to say this pretty much loses to Greninja. I've tried with 2 Hex and I've still lost games, so I think Greninja is where we fall down with this deck. Beyond that, I think it can contest against the majority of other things because obviously Mind Jack, the attack, does 10 plus 30 more for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. It's our main attacker in the whole deck, and that's a variable output. And there are some decks that can get away with having smaller bench sizes, and in those cases, we're pretty much going to lose those games. But there's still the majority of decks out there. Think about Rayquaza is obviously an easy matchup. Rainbow Road is relatively easy because they need to fill the bench. Volcanion fills its bench. Oftentimes it even plays Skyfield. There's a whole bunch of decks that do need to commit to the bench. Even things like Dark Tina, they need to put on a lot of bench Pokemon. So a lot of the time, even like Mega decks playing Hooper Shaymin, that racks up. So the idea is that we're going to hit weakness on a couple of popular archetypes, and we're going to keep the opponent sort of in check in terms of their board state with their bench size. And we're going to try and manipulate it with cards like Pokepuff, Giovanni, and Reverse Valley to make sure that we hit the higher numbers that we need to do. So that's the concept of the deck, really. I'm not sure that it's top tier archetype, but I think it can contest quite a few things out there. So let's jump into it. First of all, really thick line of Zoroark, 4/4/2. He is the only attacker in here. So we have Zorua with its Moonless Madness. This can actually bail us out in a couple of interesting spots, so that's good to bear in mind. Like I say, Mind Jack is the main option here. For Double Colorless Energy, pretty efficient. 100 HP is actually frustrating because it's not levelable, searchable. The standard ability, of course, is going to help us out so that we can jump in with our Zoroarks when need be. If maybe we've led with an awkward starter, it means we don't have to dig for something like Floatstone. We can just find our Zoroark, stand right in, and be safe. And it pretty much saves us around like being Lysandre stalled, because we have this guy, unless there's like Garb up, something like that. And then we have 2 Zoroark breaks. 140 HP is a good number. It's actually really annoying for the likes of Mega, Sizzle, and Giratina. All of these struggle, especially Giratina, because we are focused on Double Colorless in this deck, but we also have Darks in here. So we can use Foul Play to copy their Chaos Wheel twice to get the knockout in that matchup against Giratinas, which is pretty cool, because it also stops them getting Double Dragons on board for future Giratina. It can slow them down quite a bit. There's plenty of times when Foul Play gets very good. One of them is actually the Mewtwo matchup. You can copy Psychic Infinity, so it really does put them on the back foot in terms of how many energy they can attach and commit to. Oftentimes you'll see people go for a damage change, only then to be foul played so that we can one-hit KO them. So that's pretty cool for us. So yeah, the 4/4/2 line I think is pretty cool. We have some recycle with Buddy Buddy, which I'll get into later. So I feel fairly comfortable maxing this guy out with a bit of recovery pieces and having basically no other attacking options in the deck. Then we have the Eeveelutions. So just 2 Eevee. I think in any one matchup, you're not going to put down more than 1 Eevee in a lot of situations because you just want one evolution to spam that type coverage. So all the Eeveelutions, I should say, have a similar ability, but for their own unique type. So Flare Effect means that our Stage 1 Pokemon now has Fire type, as well as the Dark type that Zoroark already has. So with the Fire typing, it means we can really have a much better time against the likes of Scizor and Sceptile, which would otherwise be quite difficult matchups. So having ×2 weakness is great, because most of the time you can imagine there's a lot of Parallel City being played right now, so Mind Jack is more towards the sort of 100-130 mark that people try and stay around. So now that we times that by 2, thanks to the weaknesses that we can hit, we're in one-hit KO range. That's the concept of this deck. Very simple, really. We do have the Jolteon. This is the one that will come out in the majority of games, in my opinion. because then we can deal with Shaymin EXs, even if they have like one bench Pokemon. So, well, not one, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so Jolteon comes down. Obviously, it's going to help out against Ray and other Yveltal players. So this is a popular one. It also has free retreat. So if you've put down an Eevee just because you've done it, and then you want to evolve out, you may as well go Jolteon because it's free retreat, so it's not a liability. And it can be a nice pivot for you. And then we have the Vaporeon. This is mainly for the Volcanion matchup. They often, like I was saying earlier, they often commit to their bench because they need to have all their abilities online. But they don't actually need to steam up that much against Zoroark to get KOs, so they can try and conserve the bench. So in those situations, we do have the Vaporeon to hit for weakness. So hitting quite a few popular archetypes right now for weakness. So these Eeveelutions are looking pretty good. Finally, just 2 Shaymin EX to help us draw cards and remain as consistent as possible. That's the idea. So onto the items. It's actually quite an interesting list of items here. We have the one special charge to recycle Double Colorless, because Mind Jack is our main attack and we need to keep hitting this as often as possible. For the 2-ofs, we are playing the Buddy Buddy Pokepuff combo. So 2 Buddy Buddy Rescue forces each player to put a Pokemon from the discard pile into the hand. Your opponent does choose first. So you could see this as being beneficial to them because they can sometimes get resources back, but it's going to be doubly beneficial for us if we have Pokepuff in hand at the same time, because we guarantee at least one Pokemon that we can get. So we're basically turning Buddy Buddy into guaranteeing Pokepuff for plus 30 damage, basically, minimum. So that's really cool, and it means that we have a direct impact in terms of streaming Zoroarks as best we can, because only playing 4-4-2 and no other attacking options is kind of scary. So 2 Buddy Buddy really means that we can maintain a good stream of attackers, which is important. Pokepuff is a big card. Even as a 2-of, it does do work in here. Your opponent reveals their hand, puts any number of basics you find there onto your opponent's bench. Turn 1, this can be a YOLO play. Sometimes you get a Hooper or a Shaymin, and you're pretty happy. But as well, we have the Buddy Buddy to guarantee it at the very least. And when your opponent just has large hand sizes, we can just go for it in hope. Increasing the output of Mind Jack, so even if your opponent is trying to play around it, even just seeing the first Pokepuff, your opponent may start just benching things on their own because they're like, well, I may as well put it down because I'm going to get puffed anyway. I may as well make Pokepuff a dead card in their hand. So it's a bit of reverse psychology by having at least revealing one Pokepuff and threatening it. It's a pretty cool option in here. Next up, we have 2 Levelable, searchable for all the Eeveelutions, and it's going to help us get plenty of Zorua early on in the game because you do want to hit multiple. We do have the 4 Male, 4 Ultra Ball, 4 VS Seeker, the typical counts of all these cards to remain as consistent as possible. On to supporters, a couple of 1-ofs. The Giovanni Scheme, so that we can do an extra 20. This again helps out against Mewtwo, I found quite often. And again, it's one of these things where your opponent's trying to play around bench size. With a full bench of 5, we're only doing 160. So things like Reverse Valley to push us there, and also Giovanni Scheme, means that sometimes we can get knockouts on EX Pokemon. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we do have Teammates. Again, it's the sort of situation where we need to dig for certain cards. We need to get those DCEs. We need to carry on getting Zoroarks as best as possible. So we are constantly putting pressure on the opponent. You'll notice we're not playing any Hex Maniac. I think the idea against Volcanion is that we're going to try and race with the likes of Vaporeon. So we don't want to hex them, and even then, they don't need to steam up at all. Even with 140, they can just Fury Belt their Volcanion, so they don't need their abilities much in that matchup. The other matchup, like I say, was Greninja, and I think that is pretty much lost cause. I've tried it with Hex 2 count at one point, and I just think it's a clunky card. I'd rather just run hotter in the other matchups and try and win there than have the 2 clunky Hex Maniacs. From there, we have the 2 Lysandres for keeping on EXs and stuff like that. Just more pressure. Fits in with the aggressive playstyle of this deck. 2N as well. Although we are aggressive, sometimes it's 2-hit KO range. Definitely if we've not set up our Eevees. And it's going to help balance us out whenever. And early game, just draw power. And the Sycamore again, pretty standard stuff. From there, we are playing 3 Reverse Valley. I really like the numbers that this can help out with. We can go to 110 damage if your opponent has 3 Pokemon in play, so we can deal with Shaymins that way. Additionally, like I say, with a full bench of 5, we go to 170, so that's also a pretty good number to go for. So that's, yeah, just numbers basically. Numbers are good, and reverse value is pretty cool for that. Additionally, we want to bounce other people's parallels, so having a 3 count is good, because then we can replace the Stadium Pokepuff and try and get more than 3 sometimes, so that's kind of cool. At the same time, you want to replace Shrine against Mewtwo quite often, so yeah, the 3 count I think is justified. Just the 2 Floatstone, we have stand-in from most of our dudes, so it's not too big of an issue having many of these, but obviously Garbodor's around, so we do want a couple. And 4 Double Colorless, it's our main Mind Jack attack, and then just 5 Dark to help out with Moonless Madness and Foul Playing and stuff like that. So that is the list. There's a couple of things you could consider. We're not playing any Yveltals in here. Fright Knight's the first consideration, because denying tools against Megas is still very helpful, and Pitch Black Spear is okay. We have no acceleration in this build. I think if you want to go down a more heavy Dark invested route, you probably have to cut the Eeveelutions, or at least trim it down. So yeah, I don't really see the spaces right now, because if I'm playing Fright Knight and the EX, I do want to have like either EXP share or elixirs, and that's more leaning towards another sort of build where you sort of trim the Zoro line down to like 3-3-1 or just 3-3 or something like that. So at the moment we're not playing any of these cards, but I can definitely see their value. It's more of a sort of, this is the all-in build with Zoroark, right, where we're playing Puff and Buddy Buddy, but if you want to go for like a hybrid, I can see making spaces for Yveltals, because our output otherwise is variable with Mind Jack. People can play around it, so it's good to have just stable damage in your deck at some points. So there we go. Couple other options. Wally. We are a heavily evolution focused deck. Sometimes when we don't have any backup Zoruas, we could be dead. So instead we just have the Wally option to try and get a Zoroark out of nowhere, or go straight from Zoroark into the Zoro break. That could also be pretty cool for you. But yeah, that is really it for options. I think Parallel City could also be an option, actually, of our own, just so that other people can't play it for themselves. The biggest issue is that either we limit our bench size, which is kind of okay, but at the same time I like using like Buddy Buddy spam, so I like having plenty of Zorua lined up, ready to go. Obviously it could get rid of our Shaymin, so that's something to bear in mind. We're never going to put this side on the opponent, more than likely, so this is never really going to be a factor. Even though we can be a water and fire type, we'll never put this side on ourselves. It's just that there's not many occasions where I like limiting myself to 3. Like I say, I like having, you know, the one space for Eevees, having plenty of Zorua available, then having the space for Shaymins if need be is kind of a nice thing, because there are turns where you just have to dig with this deck, and if you've paralleled yourself, it can be kind of awkward. So at the moment I've not gone for it. Bear in mind though, of course, you could parallel yourself and then Buddy Buddy back a Shaymin for later on, so that could be a cool play, who knows. But there we are for now. That's all, or plenty of options for you to consider and playtest yourselves. Let's jump into some battles and see how this goes. Yeah, this is actually the 3rd time I've recorded this. First time, the file corrupted. Second time, so that was yesterday when it was meant to come out. Earlier on today, I spoke for about half an hour, then realised my mic was like not even plugged in. So that was pretty sad, just talking to myself. But now I'm talking to myself, and hopefully someone's actually listening. That's the idea. 3rd time's the charm. And we'll see if we can get some good games in. Earlier on today I got absolutely crushed by a Typhlosion Talonflame, so let's try to not let that happen again. So it looks like we are up against Volcanion. Leading the Eevee is okay, but it's likely that the Eevee could get knocked out, so that's not ideal. We are going to go for the Ultra Ball here. I'm going to get rid of the Break and the teammates, because they're not going to be played. And we do have our full 4 Zorua. We do have our Eevee. We do have Vaporeon, which is great. It's the only Eeveelution we have, but it's the only one we need in this matchup, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead and grab Zorua real quick. And I'm going to go for a Trainer's Mail, looking really for Floatstone or Level Ball. We do have Pokepuff, and this could be fine. Let's go for it. Why not? Let's just scout. I doubt he's holding anything other than Shaymin. Oh, we do have another Volcanion that we can put down for the opponent. We may as well do it. Looks like they have a Sycamore in hand. We don't have the option to end though, so... they also have a couple of fire in the hand as well, so it is likely that this Eevee will get knocked out. Having that info is very helpful to us. We do hit Zorua. They did have Lysandre, so they have Lysandre, Energy, and Sycamore, so they don't have the Lysandre KO, so I'm happy to attach DC here. Let's mail first. Always safer to mail first. Another Pokepuff, not going to use that. I will go for Ultra Ball, because it's likely that this Eevee is going to get knocked out, right? So I can fairly comfortably get rid of Special Charge here. It's awkward, but it's kind of what I want to do to guarantee this Vaporeon and put pressure on as early as possible, so that we can have a big old turn here. And we're going to draw some cards, get ourselves back up to a healthy hand size. And look at this, lots of Zorua, exactly what we want turn 1. We have lots of backups as well. And yeah, lots of supporter options for next turn. Let's see what the opponent has. Likely a knockout on the Eevee, based on their Sycamore hand. So there's 50 damage, and indeed the typical Sycamore. What was the top deck? It was a Super Rod. Not a bad turn 1 from us. Was kind of expensive getting rid of Special Charge, but in this matchup, it's really a race. So that's the idea. They do go Hooper, so they're pretty much allowing Zoro to just do its stuff, which is kind of cool. I like this. Unless they have Parallel in hand, of course, which could be a thing. Some Volcanion play 1 Parallel. They just go for 1 more Volcanion. And there is the Power Heater for 80. So we'll go into Zorua. We already have the Zoroark lined up. Let's go Zoro. Let's bench, attach, just spread the things around, I think. And I want to end here. We already have the knockout on board. I just want to find more Zoro pieces, really. Missing all of them is kind of awkward. We do have Buddy though. Does it give him back anything? Nope. Okay. Buddy, they just have to press OK before we can do it, I think. Because it says opponent chooses first. There we go. And it means we have the break for next turn as well if we want it, so that's pretty cool for us. Yeah, looks good. Mind Jack. Pick up another VS Seeker, that's not too bad. It means we have teammates next turn. And we can get 2 actual cards rather than it having to be like another supporter plus a card. So that's cool. The opponent is again happy to bench things for us. Going to see a Flash Fire and a Steam Up. Number 1. Number 2. Do they have all 3? No, just 80. That's good for us, because now we are making a race. Making racing happen. Pick up the N. Don't really want that. It's kind of banking on the teammates though. We don't have Lysandre either. I think I want to hold Buddy Buddy for when a normal Zoro gets knocked out. I don't really need to get the break just yet. Don't think there's anything I need to do. I'm relatively happy keeping this Zoroark active because they don't have any like Sky Return plays or anything. Don't really see any reason to end either. I'm content just taking this knockout. And now the opponent only has EXs to offer up for us, so picking up an Ultra Ball is good as well. It means we can try and respond with a Vaporeon. Knockout. Gonna see an end from the opponent. Pretty good option. We get back into VS Seeker and Level Ball. That's really nice for the teammates' plays here. I'm going to see the Blaze Ball. So we'll go into the Free Retreat Zorua. Another Level Ball, not bad. So let's get the Zorua, pretend that we don't have the Vaporeon, and then out of nowhere, boom. I think I can mail before the teammates to see if I can get a VS Seeker. Yeah, that's perfect. So now we can just teammates for 2 actual cards. And the cards I want are Zoroark, and I think just a Dark Energy actually. Because I want to keep this not a break evolution. Like, I want to stay as a stage 1 so we get the Vaporeon value. So I think it's just that. Do we... I think we still use the DCE Zoroark. Just in case I want to Mind Jack something randomly. I mean, Zoro break something randomly. So we'll go for the big old knockout. 2 prizes to go. And we'll see how the opponent can stabilize. They have no real attackers being threatened right now, but who knows. Those are 2 prizes I didn't really want to take if we're going to get end. Could have been better cards. But hey, we're going to see an energy retrieval. The Hooper in the active is an interesting shout. There's the Scorched Earth, the attachment, the use of Scorched Earth. There's the switch. And an N. Very interesting. Says the opponent basically conceded. Oh, we see a rope. We have stand-in, so that's not a problem. We can't buddy a Shaymin, which would have been cool. There's an Elixir, wow. Do they have another switch card? Nope. How far away are we? Well, let's just steal Hyperspace Space Fury, I guess. It's not a bad attack. Save these for potential Ultra Ball plays. I mean, the Dark's not that helpful because our other break is right here. So I think we can hold these. The only thing is if we get end again. I think we win if we get end again. Yeah, the opponent scoops. Okay. So, nice win against Volcanion. Let's see if we get another game in. Getting a quick little chest here. Hooray. On my way to that N. It's one of the ladders where I actually want to play it a lot. There's a rare incentive, that N right there. Anyway, let's see if we can get a better or another game. The opponent gets the chance to go first here. Looks like we mulligan. We do play a low count of basics. That's one thing about this deck. We only play 8, so you will mulligan quite a bit with the current build. Maybe something to work on. Definitely consider playing one Eeveelutions EX in this deck if I'm going to add in one more Pokemon. But right now it's doing okay. And we do get a Zorua here. Looks like we're up against a different dark variant, so going to be interesting. And the opponent leads Shaymin, which is great for us. It does mean that they probably don't have anything else Pokemon-wise in their hand. So the fact they get an N could be great for us, because this is a very nice hand to get End away. Attachment, Ninja Boy or N? Just the N. Very slow start from our opponent here. And we get a slightly better hand. There's a Mew. So it looks like it's the Eeveelutions Elixirs build, the Banter Box deck. My favourite. Just kidding. Are they going to retreat anywhere is the question? No, okay. Because retreating would play into Moonless Madness, so it kind of makes sense. Okay, let's Ultra Ball. Unfortunately, Special Charge got to go, but that's the way. Is our... Yes, Jolteon is here. Nice. We have both our Puffs. And we have a lot of Zorua pieces. Pretty cool. Okay. Because it's probably an Elixir build, I'm happier attaching to the bench, I feel. There's no real need to Moonless Madness, because Sky Return's a horrible turn for him if he plays it, so... question is, do I Sycamore here? There's a real debate to not. But I do want to kind of develop Eevees, right? Okay. Let's be a little bit more aggressive here. We get quite an ugly hand, but it does mean that we have like DCE, Sycamore next turn to dig for Zorua or Buddy, so could be better. I'm not going to puff this 2-card hand. I think it could be served better later on. They got rid of one parallel. I wonder how many they play. That's something to keep an eye on. One gone so early is good for us. See VS Seeker for N. Again, I appreciate that. Having to go through a lot of VS Seeker and Lysandre early could have been awkward. There's Vaporeon. This is slightly dead hand. There's second parallel, again going our way round. We again have the counter. But 2 gone, I think most play 2. I think 3 parallel would be a very high count. So I think there's room for us to puff him from now on, pretty much. Which is cool. The opponent does pass. We get an Eevee, which is what I would have level balled for. Do I level ball first? Yes, I do. Because we really need a Pokemon. I mean, supporter. Or an Ultra Ball would be fine, I guess. Supporter is good. Let's do it. Let's just play out this hand. It's a pretty clean Sycamore. Oops, got to put the stadium in first. Can DCE this one. And Sycamore. Could have done the active as well, but Just in case we miss Zoro, and we don't, we do have the Buddy Buddy. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Getting that early game value. Really like 2 Buddy Buddy in here. I think it's far better than Super Rod when we already have Special Charge. Although, both games so far we've discarded it. Come on, press OK on Buddy Buddy. This is where we need a game chat to tell him. What do I tell him? Hello? Hello? Buddy Buddy? Come on. Come on, mate. Yeah, there we go. Fairly content to... I don't really need the float stone there. I may as well just put it on the active. Because it's going away anyway. And we will prod. Put a little bit of pressure on, maybe force the Yveltal out. We have the teammates for big damages. Gonna see the retreat. Let's see if they get any more Pokemon developed. That's really the question. If they don't, I'm gonna have to Pokepuff this guy. Angry face. What's he done? What's he done? He's not happy. He attached, retreated, and he's angry about it. Yeah, I'd be pretty angry too. Well, his hand was so poor that we're not getting teammates value. I don't really see a problem with just Lysandering for 2 prizes. The only thing is that we lose a bench space. I could just go for the 2-hit on this guy. Let's just do that. Let's hold the hand. It's fine. We're still ahead, in my opinion. Definitely on the board state. Even if he Ninja Boys this, it's got heavy damage on it, so... And the Mew we can easily trade on for the majority of the game. I'm pretty happy here. There's Viesica for N. So again, taking those 2 prizes would have hurt us more, so I'm pretty content. There's Jolteon. We don't have any, well, we just have the 1 Zoroark, but we can't break it because it's going to get KO'd. Big old Evil Ball for 110. We'll promote Floatstone Zorua. And let's have a look. Oh, boys. Not bad. Oh, his hand is dead as well without that Shaymin. Nice. Dream big. He's going to give me another angry face. He probably should. 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, lots of damage. Let's commit this DCE. We will Shaymin ourselves here. Kind of don't want to Sycamore the only 2 breaks. Especially because we've lost 1 Buddy Buddy. Yes. Oh, so nice. It's really nice for us. I'm going to do 1 here. Yeah, we see a scoop. 2 scoops. Zoroark doing work. Nice. Let's get 1 more game in. We've been setting up pretty nicely. I like it. As long as we avoid Greninja, there's a chance. Let's get the last game in of the day. Do win that nice flip. And we get a mulligan. Oh, he's seen all of our secrets. Not all of them. He didn't see Pokepuff. Shh. Keep it quiet. We can go for that turn 1 puff maybe. So fun when that comes off. That was a big Pokepuff, man. That was dirty. That's probably why they scooped, because they're like, oh, come on. Pokepuffing second Shaymin into a dead hand. Oh, such a dirty turn. Okie dokie. Wow, look at this hand. Look at the possibilities, guys. And it's the second Volcanion of the day. So, first order of business is to get a supporter. Nothing from the first male. Oh no. Do I take a second reverse Valley here? Just for the slight increased odds? I think I do. Because the Stadium War's not a big deal in this matchup. Because when we're getting KOs, we're getting blowout KOs. Last male. Come on. Oh, well, it's a Shaymin, so it's fine. We can live with this. We can definitely live with this. We'll put one Stadium in, discard the other, and the Lysandre. Yeah, this is fine. We will definitely live with this. We have Vaporeon not prized. That's very good. And let's draw 4 cards, hoping really just to find one more Zorua. Otherwise, we might have the awkward retreat into the Shaymin. Ooh, maybe we do have the awkward retreat into Shaymin. I mean, he has to find a retreat and an energy and a steam up and another steam up and a Lysandre. So I still feel fairly content here to do this. The sort of meat shield. Yeah, not ideal. Not ideal. Let's see what the opponent can come up with. We may have a slightly better Shaymin next turn. We can play down a couple of cards. Maybe if they replace the Stadium, we could be okay. We'll find out. What's good about putting this Shaymin in the active is it could bait the opponent into putting lots of Volcanion down to try and extend early for that early race, but who knows. We do see an Elixir, because the opponent hasn't seen much of the deck. Like, he may not know that it's quad Zoro, so could bode well for us. Skyfield, that's the Stadium that we like to see. Yeah, go ahead, mate. Get them all on. Double steam up. So as long as he finds a non-EX and a switching card and a turn attachment, because that was an Elixir attachment, of course. Also plays Faded Town. Interesting. There's the Float Stone. So does he have the baby? Obviously, so far just doing the 80. Needs to find one more EX and a steam up. There's the male for Lysandre. Another male. Plenty of males played in both of our turn 1s. 5 total. Second Elixir. Oh, the fail. Wow, 6 trainers males in the first 2 turns of the game. Not bad. And it's Hooper time. So there's still plenty more that the opponent can do this turn if they want to go blowout. And looks like they've gone conservative, or they've prized one Volcanion. Who knows? Setting up for 3 cards. Looking for that baby, most likely. There's just a manual attachment to the EX. And a pass. So that's okay by me. So topping the Dark Energy is also a bad card. Ah, darn. 2 card Shaymin? Has to be, really. Zorua Puff is not ideal. This could be a Lysandre Moonless Madness turn. But then he has switch card Floatstone anyway. I guess it forces it. He's already gone through Rope. Oh no, he hasn't. What am I saying? I don't know why I made that up. It's just, do I play the Puff as well? I don't think I play Puff, because if If he had non-EX Volcanion, he would have played it. If he had EX Volcanion, he would have played it before the Shaymin. So he almost definitely doesn't have a Pokemon. VSC for Lysandre is probably fine. Let's go for it. Come here, Volcanion. Let's make some confusing plays. And see how the opponent can deal with it. Even just doing this now, forcing more switching cards out of the opponent, could be good in terms of later on if we could get a stall approach going. So we'll see. At the very least, it could force him to dig with like an N or something. Gonna see some steam ups. Here we go. It's definitely only the opponent's active, yeah. It'd be funny if it increased confusion damage. But no. Gonna see a letter for some more energies. 2 letters, interesting. There's another Skyfield. And an N, hooray. We'll take it. We will take it, lads. Not the most ideal of hands. Gonna see an Ultra Ball now. Maybe they have to dig more with Shaymin, or maybe they want a baby. They have done double Volcanion, of course, so a baby wouldn't be too bad here. There is Baby Volk. So we can respond on a Baby Volk. As long as it's not Fury Belted. But there's the attachment. Is he doing it? Oh, the gamble. Oh, I love it. I love the gamble. Yeah, another concede. 3 concedes. What's going on? Madness. People are crazy today. Oh, the salt is real. Quad Zoro. Making people salty. One more game, because that was obviously not a game. But man, Moonless Madness. You gotta love it. I can't believe he gambled, to be honest. He wasn't... Oh man, so greedy. Gotta punish the greed. Gotta punish it. Nice. So, one more game against Louis Ruiz, I think it was. So Water Fairy Colorless in the opening slides, so if it's anything close to Greninja, we're in dire straits. But, who knows? Could be some other thing for all I know. Could even be Glalie. Glalie. Alright, the opponent's taking their time here. Come on, mate. Get going. Load the game, buddy. You can do it. Have I got time for this? Nobody got time for this. Take your points. Oops. Okay. CJ Enriquez is the next victim of this deck. And that is not the best of hands. But we're going to roll with it. We get a mulligan, so a bit of charity. Looks like it's another Volcanion. Volcanion is everywhere. And Zoroark isn't that bad against Volcanion. It's a non-EX that can kill an EX. So, you do the math. Flareon. I think this is the first one that you cut, if any. But then Sizzle becomes very hard. Even with the breaks, Sizzle becomes difficult. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But this has been the most dead out of the Eevees for me. Sizzle may not even be that popular right now because there's a lot of Fright Night Yveltal. Again, who knows? Wow, why are the opponents taking forever today? Making me talk nonsense about Sizzle. Come on, buddy. You can do it. If it's my internet, I'm going to be sad. Ah, here we go. The opponent has made their selection. We will take that mulligan and put it straight down. And we see Baby Volk in the active. The Moonless Madness plays are going to come in, I guarantee it. We see a lovely golden Ultra Ball. Hooper time. Got rid of a Shaymin. Probably Hooper. Ah, just Volcanion. Damn, son. But we do know that we can Pokepuff back this guy after a buddy. Repeat Ball's an interesting card in Volcanion. The Fury Belt is annoying, but it does mean that he can't float stone out of confusion. So that's even pointing me even more towards the Moonless Madness. Oh, Moonless Madness is so on here. We've got no other plays. Unless we get a nice 2 cards here. Not very nice. Don't see any reason to Pokepuff this turn, so let's go! Flip some coins, buddy, if you're feeling it. Confusing a Volcanion is so awkward for them on their first turn, because they are very reliant on power heaters. They're going for the steam ups. Is it time to flip some coins? They only need 1 steam up to get the KO if he chooses to attack with this one with the belt. Do see an elixir onto the one without the tool. Second steam up. So now he's set up the other Volcanion. If he gets another one of these out. Oh, the jam! He risked it. Oh, he's in such a better spot now that he got the heads. Oh, he could have seen a 4th concede in a row, guys. Just think about that for a sec. Oh, I should have promoted Shaymin for sure there. Oh, this is awkward. Damn. Definitely should have promoted Shaymin. So much safer. Damn. That's really annoying, actually. Okay. I think I've lost the game for myself now. I mean, dead draw's dead draw, but still. If he just attach switches. Oh, the rope is fine. The rope I can live with. There's Faded Town. Nice. So me actually putting the wrong Pokemon active has helped us out a lot here. Looks like he didn't have energy in hand, so just going to go for the Power Heater. Lysandre stall plays. Looks like it. Okay. Now, I could Pokepuff to see if I can all-in this turn. By all-in, I mean attach and Sky Return. Just, if I scout his hand, pray he doesn't top deck. Because we're in such a bad spot, let's scout. Nope, he has way too many good cards to go YOLO. We'll just attach pass. That's good info though. Could have walked myself into murder. Let's see what his top deck was. So got rid of 1 float, 1 rope so far. There's an attachment to the bench and a pass. Hooray. Didn't even use Ultra Ball. Trainer's Mail, please. Yeah. pass. Okay. We're in the game. We are in the game. Let's Sycamore our way of Vaporeon. This is why we play Buddy Buddies. They're still both in deck. That's good. I can Zorua BREAK this turn. I think that's what I want to do. So then I can DC the bench Zorua. And start putting some pressure on. Which is good, from what I hear. Get that cheeky 130 in. Can't attack next turn, but we do have the stand-in to undo that work if he's going to just pass again. Another escape rope. Have Shaymin, mate. I don't mind about prize race. Well, I do, obviously, but I think this is still our best way to win it. Because he has substantially more EX Pokemon than we do. This will be the only EX he takes. And if we can get a puff going. Not a puff, what am I saying? A buddy buddy for this guy. Oh, could be beautiful. Could be beautiful. We don't have teammates, do we? Our teammates could have guaranteed it. We'll promote Zorua. We can always stand in, so... Teammates. Teammates. Great. That's the card I wanted. Oh man, this deck. Are you ready for the Buddy Buddy Rescue plays? Boom. Get your Shaymin back. That's actually not great for us, but still. We have to get the KO, so... It's fine. It's fine. Take your Shaybay. Your Shabaybay. Don't know why the opponent always takes so long to figure out what to Buddy Buddy, but there we go. Hello, Vaporeon, my old friend. Let's do it. Nice. The best thing as well is that the other EX has Floatstone on, so even with, well, I don't think he'll ever, I think he has to commit more Volcanion to the board, or the Shaymin that he has in hand, because he's not been doing much, so I think we should be in good stead here to just race him out. In before we need to play one Devo Spray, so that we Devo Spray back into a stage. Wait, okay, going for Vaporeon is fair here. For sure. So 2 prizes left. This turn we go into the break, so it's difficult for him to use Steam Artillery. Okay. I think we need to end here. Do I really dig out another Eevee? I think I just get another Zorua here. Actually, no, I could get a Shaymin. Oh no, but I can lose the game if I do that. Let's try not to lose the game, shall we? I can top deck and draw the Shaymin next turn when he's down to 1 prize. So, just the 130. The opponent has a 3-card hand. Let's see if they can get the energy attachment. They do obviously play lots of energy and energy recovery cards, so I wouldn't be too surprised. But he also needs to have a lot of steam ups, right? to get through 140. Well, he needs an attachment for turn and a steam up. So let's see if it's possible. Well, that is it. Right there. Not bad, not bad. Trainer's mail as well. Moonus Madness might be our play next turn. Looking at the board. Oh, that is the best N he's had in his life. Come off it. Goodness sake. Okay. Steamy artilleries. How do we deal 170 next turn? I really don't think we can. If we confuse, he just pays retreat and gets the knockout. Don't really see our best line here. Haven't seen it yet. Let's have a think here. Well, I'm obviously Shaymaning. That's 100% happening. Zoroark BREAK keeps me alive technically. Attaching the DCE. I can't Moonus Madness. That doesn't win me the game. I can't copy anything that wins me the game. Okay. I think I need to break evolve an N. I think that's my line. Okay. Oh, puff. Sweet. Look at that large hand size. Get back in here. I'm gonna get 3, but that's really good for limiting the ends. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16. It's frustrating. Anyway, let's end and hope to find the stadium. Come on. Oh, this is going great. We were really on the rocks, but hey-oh, we've got a KO now. He still just needs a steam up to win, but still. This has been close, very close. And if he doesn't get it, he could be in a real spot. Let's see. Ooh, an N. No! Come on, let me count his energy. 6, 7, 8, 9. He only had 1 energy. One of those played, so I guess he had decent odds, but damn, okay. Not an unbeaten run for us, I'm afraid. A lot of concedes, which is always cool. A nice couple of poker puffs as well. How many Shaymin did we get overall with our puffs? Was it 3 or 4? Anyway, some absurd amount. So that was Zorua Eeveelutions. Let's jump back to the deck one last time. Hope you all enjoyed, guys. Leave a like to this video if you did. And what else? Subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, leave your comments to this deck down below. Can it contend? Is there any way around Greninja? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Maybe things like balloons could help out, because you can like foul play and balloon back on them, but they play balloons as well. So anyway, I'm going off on weird tangents, but Hope you all enjoyed, guys. It's been Joe from Omnipoke, and I will see you next time.